Nitty gritty, this that nine
Mo's nose. Peachy, fair to gone.
It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, breezy, and fair to gone. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you nine to tone. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hoes.
busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
Oh, the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk crew is here for the first overreaction show of the season. This may be our first preseason overreaction show. Peachy, we just finished playing the Tennessee Titans. And yeah, your initial thoughts. You don't got to go into detail. We got plenty of time to talk about it. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So just initial thoughts. I mean, like overall, how are you feeling?
Overall, I think that the 49ers are going to be okay. I think some of it may have just been, first time jitters, of being out there. I mean, that has to be kind of crazy to be out there under the lights and everything, playing a game, plus the difference in the time zone, the whole 9 yards, for the depth pieces, which is basically what we had out there for the most part. I could see them, being a little bit kind of off a little bit or whatever. So I think 49ers are going to be just fine. Tennessee played their starters for a while. And they said they were going to play their starters for a while. And I know that doesn't matter, but I feel like that
like it doesn't matter. It's football,
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time,
there's no buts. If you play in this league and you want a job, you go out there and you do your job, and you do it well. It doesn't matter if you're a starter, because you got to look at our players. They want to be starters, right? And so if you want to be a starter and this is your opportunity to show that you are a starting caliber, then you go out there and you play starting football. I thought some players shined. I thought some players still need work, but it is what it is, there's a lot of things I want us to hopefully figure out, and we won't know, PG, until we see the starting defense, starting offense. But I thought, if we want to start with some good, I thought the good was that first drive, the offense figured it out. The offensive line, which weren't all starters, right? You had 3 non-starters up there. I think Aaron Banks, your center, wasn't starting. So Aaron Banks and Colton McKivitz were your starters, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had the rookie Dominic Pooney, and you had some other guys. I want to say Hubbard and Nick Zakel. So that first drive where they were able to get the ball down there and get the touchdown to JP 24, that looked really good. And then it started to stall. So a lot of good to me, a lot more good than bad, because then your context come in and say, hey, starters aren't in there, second unit, can they move the ball? But we've been hearing how great the depth has been this whole camp, Peachy. So that's what confuses me a little bit, because I'm saying to myself, well, the depth didn't look too good even against their depth. Their depth looked faster, their depth looked quicker, their depth looked like they were able to react. Our depth didn't look as good as the other team's depth. So those are the little things that I would like to question. But the Niners did lose 17 to 13 to the Tennessee Titans. Felt like we lost there last time by a field goal, if I'm not mistaken. The last time we played in Tennessee, sometime in December a couple years ago. Feel like we lost by a field goal. But overall, my initial reaction was they played football, and it was good to hear some hits. And it was good to see just the red and gold back on the football field, even though they were in white, but they still have red in it. And so other than the rhythm of the game was slow, because it was just what it was. I wasn't really expecting much from this game. I think next week we'll probably expect a little bit more because we'll get to see our starters play a little bit more. And then it'll probably be a slow paced game as well. But overall, man, I was just glad to see football back. You know what I mean? And for the 49ers, you said that they were going to be all right, and I couldn't agree more. They don't look bad. You know what I mean? Like we've watched some preseason football and some teams look bad.
Hmm.
49ers don't look bad. They look like they trying some things and trying to figure some things out. So like I said, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with the ugly. 49ers injury report. Ambry Thomas has a broken forearm. And I believe Kyle Shanahan talked about that, and we don't know how long he's going to be out. But Peachy, he got injured in the preseason, which means he got injured playing football. Do you throw him on the IR for the season and get another year out of him, or are you just done with Ambry Thomas? I'm just curious to know.
I
Like,
think
I
that
don't mean to.
we're done with Ambry Thomas,
Okay,
and I think you just release him. He's just done.
I'm trying to figure out how it works. So if they put him on the IR, and I think they do the injury settlement thing,
Right. Yeah.
right? I think. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm sure that's what they'll probably do.
I don't know how it works. But
Hmm.
Ambry Thomas to me was like the weakest link on the defense. And it's just his style of play. Like for some reason, he just does not fit the 49ers brass. But you know what, Peachy, as bad as Ambry Thomas looked, the defense still looked bad.
Yep. Sure did.
And I can't figure out to save my life why they play the type of defense that they play. This soft coverage, this underneath stuff. And I get they don't want to get beat down the field deep. Ain't nobody testing them deep. Like these quarterbacks are trained all of a sudden to be quick release throwers, get the ball out of their hands fast, and take what the defense is giving them.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't. I didn't get any kind of indication that they were trying to throw for like 40, 50 yards and all that stuff like that. So I just didn't understand why our defense was playing like that for, because they never even gave me an indication that they were just going to let one rip like that, because that's not what they were doing. Like they didn't do it the whole. So I don't understand why the adjustment wasn't made and why they didn't switch up. Because man,
What player played in this game other than Ambry Thomas? And he got hurt, so I don't want to harp over him, man. He did get injured. I don't like beating people down when they're injured. But what player played in this game and didn't look as the way you expected him to look? If you could pick a player.
oh,
It could be offensive or defensive.
offensive.
It could be offensive or defensive. Just pick one.
I was shocked at Matt Breida. I thought Breida would look better out there.
Yeah, like he was kind of I don't want to say he was rusty, but he could have been
It was
rusty.
like he was playing timid for some reason when he was out there.
Matt Breida looked like Trey Sermon today.
I don't know whether he was trying to like not play to not get hurt or what, because he just played really timid, and of course the fumbles came back, and it was just crazy.
Matt
So that
Breida,
would be Breida.
he looked like he didn't look like he was running he just didn't look good. He had
Yeah.
6 attempts. Guess how many yards he finished with?
I don't know.
Guess.
I don't.
If he finished with 6 yards, that means he averaged 1 yard per carry. What if I told you Matt Breida averaged 0 yards per carry?
That's what I care.
So how many yards did he have now? His dude has 0 yards on
Wow.
6 attempts.
Mm-mm.
And if you compare him to Jordan Mason, 6 attempts,
Mm-hmm.
who had 34 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry
Mm-hmm.
with a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even Josh Dobbs, 1 yard, one
Right.
attempt for 6 yards went
Mhm.
for a touchdown. Josh Dobbs.
Yep.
so
Yeah,
like
Breida.
Matt Breida, like you look at this running back room and you're now, like I said, I don't know if because he was new, and he was probably sitting on the couch. And, I don't know if it takes time for the legs to churn up and things like that. He might have just been rusty, but good news is he didn't leave the game injured. The bad news is he fumbled the goddamn ball. PG, there's no way he should get another opportunity, right? Like, he fumbled the ball.
I mean, I agree, because he just looks like the reason why that we traded him in the first place.
Because he used to fumble the ball.
Because he used to fumble the ball in like bad spots. Like it was just bad. So that would have to go to Breida.
All right, let's play a game, because we got quarterback 2 under the microscope. Josh Dobbs versus Brandon Allen. And listen, Brandon Allen came in the game. He went 7 for 13, 98 yards, averaged 7.5 yards an attempt. He didn't have any touchdowns. He was sacked one time. He finished with a 78.4 rating. And to be fair, he had 2, not 1, but 2 deep passes, I would say, dropped. One by Tay Martin, one by Ronnie Bell. So Brandon Allen versus Josh Dobbs, 14 for 20, 146 yards, 7.3 attempt. He threw an interception at the very end. The Hail Mary was his interception. So that brought his rating down to a 70. Right now, who's leading? And in the chat, feel free to put shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew out there, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to the live stream. Right now, PG, who's leading the quarterback 2 race for you after this game? F
Dobbs.
Camp, based off this game, who's quarterback 2?
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. You said it like you just said it like you just Josh Dobbs. Like that's it. It's just no. Why? Like why? You got
Dobbs because I feel like that his connection downfield is better. I feel that he can get to the receivers. I feel like that he can get there easier. It seemed like he had an easier time. I know that the guys dropped those, but who knows? If Dobbs had been the quarterback, then they may have caught him. So that's just what I think. I feel like that Allen was more of a he was just safer. Like his throws were safer, and everything was doing. I feel like that Dobbs provides that variety with the running and the whole 9 yards. I just feel like that he just provides more. He's definitely more dynamic than Allen. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
he definitely is.
His makeup is more dynamic. He'll pull the ball down and run.
Yes,
I would say both quarterbacks look good. At times they both had balls dropped. Balls. But for something, I think I get what you're saying. You like the dynamic part of what Josh Dobbs can do.
Yep.
To me, it looked like Josh Dobbs was throwing the ball like right in front of the receivers to catch them, opposed to throwing it to the receiver. So like when I looked at I got to go back and watch the two big drops, but they were both from Brandon Allen. And so Tay Martin, who finished the game leading in receiving yards, ladies and gentlemen, number 86, Tay Martin, give him a round of applause because his stock should be rising at this point. Tay Martin, 7 targets, 5 receptions for 58 yards, average 11.6. Like this dude, for me, for Tay Martin seemed to get into rhythm the moment Josh Dobbs got in the game. Now that could be from the report from practice or what, but I don't know about but Tay Martin looked really good, but he did drop a deep pass. There was a little OPI and DPI on that play. I feel like if the throw was, and I'm not trying to critique Brandon Allen like that, but I got to go back and watch it because I don't remember it. But I feel like if the throw was a little in front to where he could have went out and got it, possibly it would have been more of a catch. But I felt like he had his guy beat. And the same thing with Ronnie Bell. I felt like the throw was underthrown because Ronnie's had to kind of like go up and grab the ball, opposed to like running out and having the ball placed in front of him. Now, they got to catch those passes. Their hands touch the ball, so I'm all for that. I'm about that life. But but Allen had 2 big drops, and I think those 2 big plays could have changed the dynamic of the game, for the 49ers, because it could have extended drives. It could have gave them momentum. Things just could have looked a little bit different for the 49ers if those 2 plays were made by the receivers. But again,
Yes.
Tay Martin led the receivers. Trent Taylor, 3 for 6,
Looks
48
good.
yards, 16 yards per catch.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Darby is who everybody is talking about. People
Yes.
are like, who is Frank Darby? Hey, so
Mm-hmm.
here's the cool thing. Frank Darby was in the same draft as Brandon Ayuk. You know what's funny? They went to the same school as well.
Mm-hmm. They
Frank
sure did.
Darby. And so not saying that it's a long shot, but he had 2 targets and he caught the one. He caught both of them, but one was out of bounds. So I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that he got was for 33 yards. So he had the biggest yards per reception for 33. Good gosh. But like I said, he had also caught the other one, Peachy, which was dope because it was a contested catch. It was just led out of bounds,
Right.
or whatnot. So those were your receivers: Tay Martin, Trent Taylor, Chris Conley,
Mm-hmm.
2 for 2 with the first unit. What
Yep.
are your thoughts on Chris Conley? I'm curious, like, because how does he not make this roster?
I know. I really hope that he does make the roster because I think that the 49ers are going to need that veteran presence on this team to aid with Debo
Mhm.
and others and whatever. So I hope that he does. And I like Conley. I mean, I've always liked Conley. So I'm glad that he's on this team. And I really do believe that he is going to make this roster, though.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
I
tough.
know it. But,
I'm only saying that because of the spots.
oh,
Like, I
yeah,
don't-
yeah, yeah.
Are they gonna do
Gotcha.
5 spots? Are they gonna do 6 spots?
Right.
Does Kyle say bump it and do 7 spots?
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Because he
Are you
doesn't want
sure?
to lose one of these guys. Like I think adding Trent Taylor and Chris Conley, you don't take both of the vets. One you want to put on your practice squad.
Right.
Does Chris Conley provide the special teams cover, like, return? No. So that's what makes me a little weary about like
Yeah.
his status. But I don't know. I hope you're right. I think he's the best wide receiver not named Debo, Ayuk, and Jennings on
Mm-hmm.
this roster. In
Yep.
my opinion, he's the best wide receiver not named those three.
I agree.
But and he's a savvy vet. He's going into his 10th year, I believe.
Yes.
Savvy vet. All right. So again, Frank Darby, kid out of Arizona State, same school as Brandon Ayuk. They were teammates at that time, and now they're teammates again. So he's here. We'll see how it works out for Frank Darby moving forward. Did Ronnie Bell decline? I saw a lot of people in the 49ers in the chat saying he had a bad game, and I'm like, what bad game? He only had 4 targets, caught 2 of them, dropped one of them. What was the bad game? I don't know. I don't know what a bad game is. I can see if he didn't catch anything. But yeah, I got you. Had the big 3rd down conversion
Yep.
in the first quarter for that scoring drive, and then he
Yep.
dropped a big pass, like big pass. Your tight ends. I gotta ask you this because they had Braden Willis out there today,
Yep.
and they had him in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Then they also had him in the tight end. Cameron Latu was out there today,
Yes.
and Eric Saubert was out there. So those, and then Jake Tonges was out there as well.
Yep.
Now, Jake Tongs, I'm sorry. So the tight ends, tight end 2. Who's your leader, Peachy, for tight end 2?
Hi. From
Based off of this game.
right from this game,
Mhm.
that would be Latu.
Really?
Yeah.
2 receptions, 2 targets,
Which
2
was-
receptions, 12 yards, 6.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Which is crazy because it was Braden, and then from this game alone, I would have to go with Latu.
Interesting, because if I had to pick the most productive tight end
Mhm.
was Jake Tongs.
Yeah.
So he's the
He
most
was.
productive. But
Mhm.
when the Niners were running well,
Mhm.
Eric Saubert was in the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I just feel like Eric Saubert's tight end too because he's going to give you the block. That's your Charlie
Right.
Warner
The
replacement.
blocking. Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
with him and George Kittle on the field, I feel more comfortable with the 49ers being able to run outside zone
Like
all
that.
day,
Yeah.
right? Without them on the field,
The
that's
blocking
where
is definitely really good. Saubert's really, really good.
Yeah.
in the blocking.
So it's going to get
And we
interesting.
know
So
that.
I slightly have Saubert, then Braden Willis, but I need to see more from Braden Willis. Like I need to see more because these vets are looking for a spot. Like Jake Tongs, 3 receptions
Yeah.
off of 3 targets for 27 yards. He was catching the ball. He had nice soft hands today. I was like, yes. Cameron Latu caught 2 of his 2 passes. So that's what you want to see from the
Yeah.
tight end depth.
Yeah.
Offensively, overall, Peachy, like just give me your like what was good about the offense, and then what was bad about the offense.
What was good about the offense is when they first started, Jordan Mason impressed me so much. Wow. Like he was out there killing it, hitting the holes, just doing everything. So, but the after Mason went out, and then what's his name? The other one that came out there.
Peachy just dropped the bomb on him. Did you hear the bomb? Just curious.
Mm-mm. And I'm trying to see what was the rookie that
Which one?
was out there after Mason, right after Mason.
Oh, Cody Schrader.
Schrader.
Yes. It looked like he was struggling though.
He was struggling. He definitely
Right?
was.
It looked like he was
Yes.
struggling,
He was struggling.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It definitely did not look anywhere as fluid as it did when Mason was out
You
there
there?
hitting the holes and everything like that. It was like it was
Hold on.
it
I'm
was
sorry,
an uphill
Peachy.
climb.
It looked like he was struggling, in my opinion. I'm trying to figure out the right setting so that I can have the effects on. Keep going.
Yeah. So that right there. But I just noticed that the Titans were
They were blitzing.
blitzing like crazy out there.
They were
It's
coming
like-
in. Yeah.
Yeah, the 49ers, not really trying to show their hand, because I heard them a couple of times,
Something's not right.
Marshall Falk or whoever that was doing that was saying that they looked like they were just, maybe showing a little bit too much, because they were acting like it was week 1 for some or whatever. So that was crazy, but was really impressed with Mason. Just really impressed and glad to get to see him as much, because in the regular season we hadn't really seen him that much like that. So to get to watch him out there doing that was real impressive. And he also made Brandon Allen's job like a lot easier. So I don't know what it would have looked like if there had been, Schrader was out there with Allen or whatever.
I still need to see Mason and pass pro in the game.
Yeah.
Some of his pass attempts, I thought they were bad attempts. Not on him though, because he can't throw himself the ball.
Right.
So, but I feel like he's going to be good in the pass catching game. But I need to see him in the pass protection game. I think that's my thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna switch this thing really quickly and then talk. Okay, go.
Okay. So, so that was what my thing was with the
Okay.
Titans.
So, you keep talking.
Okay.
I see
That
you
were
talking, but I don't hear you
blitzing.
talking.
Acting like they were,
Oh, there you go.
that was crazy. But this right here, Big Daddy Niners. Yes, exactly. It was crazy. Like, I wasn't expecting that. That was really crazy. And thank you for being a member for 10 months. We really appreciate it, Big Daddy Niners.
I don't know if you heard that, but I played ear horns. I can't tell if y'all can hear it.
I know that I can't hear it. So thank you for being a member for 10 months. He said Titans did a 6'8" defensive line the whole game.
Yo, that chunk was crazy.
It was really crazy.
And I was literally tired of seeing. All right, they said they didn't hear it, so I gotta fix that. I was literally getting tired of seeing just every third down they were sending them linebackers.
Yeah.
Like every third down though. Like they didn't waste any time. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I mean, so like I'm like at some point I'm like, Niners, are y'all gonna pick up on this? Because every third down
Yes.
they coming.
I know.
And then it just rushed the throws, and then the Niners, they had to do what they had to do. All right,
So
let me reset
let me
this.
ask you this right here, Breezy, real quick. So what did you think with Kyle Shanahan not calling the plays? And Clint Kubiak calling the plays. Do you think he did a good job?
I mean, if that was Kubiak on that first drive, yep, and then Kyle sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was Clint, he got the touchdown, but then Kyle came in, and then it was just like stalled offense once again. Like, you know what I mean? We got to figure that out. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's weird that y'all can't hear the sound effects. I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I see them.
We are, guys, we are going to hit the defense. Trust me, we are about to get on the 49er defense here in just a minute.
Right. So we talked about the good. What was the good with the offense?
Mason.
Jordan Mason. I thought the quarterback play was pretty decent.
Yeah,
and I thought the offensive line was great. They only gave up 2 sacks.
Yes.
2 sacks for 60 minutes of football. I thought that was pretty damn good.
I thought Pooney did really well.
I thought the whole offensive line played well. Granted, I don't want to talk about Matt Breida, but there was a play where he got blown up. Like he was trying to pass pro, and it was just like bam, like get out the way. And I was like, dang, I thought Breida was a better blocker than that. I'd rather see shoot. Man, listen. Anyway, I thought overall the offense was all right. Like it just got stagnant at one point. I don't know what their goal was, but they were trying a lot of inside power runs. And I would have liked for them to try to see if they could try to bounce some stuff to the outside. But when you don't got your tight ends and your main receivers out there blocking, I think I could get in. You want to prevent those injuries. So I can understand that. And as far as what was bad about the offense, they just couldn't get into a rhythm. Like they looked not in sync at times.
I agree.
The penalties were crazy too. So like there were tons of penalties. But a couple of the penalties they overcame. And I was just like, oh snap! Like right, they overcame a false start. They overcame a couple of penalties. We're gonna talk about each part of all 3 phases. All right,
Yeah,
so let's get to the defense. What was good about the defense? Because pick one player that you want to highlight about the defense. I'll pick a player, and then we'll talk overall what was good, and then we'll talk about what was bad collectively.
Okay, so on the defense, I was impressed with Mustafa.
Malik Mustafa. The freaking rookie. The hard-hitting rookie. That kid was
Mustafa.
Yo, that fourth down, you're not getting the fourth down. Not only did he save the fourth down, he got the fourth down stop. He saved the touchdown too. So that was kind of dope. But he's definitely there. He definitely made his presence felt. I feel like Malik Mustafa made his presence felt. He wasn't tested much in the coverage. I have to watch the all 22 for that, but he definitely made his presence felt out there on the football field. If I could pick his counter, like, his comrade out there that I felt like was doing the same thing, it would be linebacker D. Winters. I thought D. Winters looked amazing.
Yes.
He had one missed tackle. I guess it was kind of like, I forgot who the receiver was. It could have been what you call it? What's that receiver? Calvin Ridley was doing some things to some of the 49er players. Like he was stopping, planting his foot, cutting back the other way. I'm like, dude, this is a preseason game, dog.
I told you they were just on another level, like for real. I
didn't expect. I expect players to go out, but I didn't know he was gonna try to cut back in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude had to tackle, and he was like, "Nah, you're not tackling me." I was like, "Okay, That's when I knew that Tennessee, this is their Super Bowl. They trying to win this game.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I get it. They got to start off hot. They gotta get into a rhythm. Some teams need to win the preseason games, and then they go on a run. I think the 49ers just they figuring stuff out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
D Winters though, for me, I thought D Winters after that missed tackle, that's when he was like, all right, here I come, and he kind of looked like Dre Greenlaw out there in the tackling game. In the tackling game, I know Dre Greenlaw can cover too in the pass catching game, but he wasn't tested like that. So, D Winters, Malik Mustafa, for me were the pluses. Who are the minuses on defense? Because we already talked about Ambry Thomas. So, other than Ambry Thomas, like who was the minors on defense? I thought Ambry Thomas struggled while he was out there the whole time. They picked on him in the run game. They picked on him in the passing game. He was losing his footing. He was the reason why that freaking, we'll talk about special teams, but he was the reason why that play happened on special teams. And then it was downhill after that. It's like he made a bad play with the tackle, and then he just never recovered from it. And unfortunately, he broke his forearm. So other than Ambry Thomas, who do you feel struggled defensively?
Is it 36? Is that the? Because I'm trying to remember the names and I can't. Trying to think. I thought Robinson. I think that's the right one.
You thought Curtis Robinson struggled?
No, wait, no, that's not him. No. Shoot, I can't think of his number.
You said 36?
Anyway, you can go ahead and go with yours. Because I'm trying to...
I'm just trying to think of who you mentioned.
I know. I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember who it was. Oh. Why can't I
see if I can find it. Pull it up.
His name. Well, it's fine. You don't even have to do that with Robinson. I was actually kind of disappointed in Beal. I was trying to think of another one that.
All right, what disappointed you about Robert Beal?
Well, besides the whole entire defense seemed to be bad with the run defense. I actually put it on Twitter.
He's not big enough
put
to
that on there.
He for some reason like he's not gonna be able to set the edge.
Right.
Like, he don't have the size to set the edge. Robert Beal is a specialty outside guy, you know, and with speed. And so you want him in there with speed, you know. So far setting the edge, he's not going to be able to do it. Like, they're going to run at him, and he's going to get pretty much ran over. So if that's how you felt, you said 36? Did you mean 26 maybe?
I may have been 26.
I mean, that's when the guys came in, and like Chase Lucas. Chase Lucas is 26.
I think it was Luke 26. That's what it was. It wasn't 36 because that's Curtis Robinson. Because they had said Curtis Lofton, and then he had to tell him it.
They said Curtis Lofton
at first.
That's funny because I called him Curtis Lofton on another show.
Right, and they were messing up a lot of players' names. And I'm like, did you guys drink before you came up
because
here?
they called Jake Tongs Mason Pline. I'm like, dude, his jersey literally says Jake Tongs.
Yes, exactly.
Like, how did you get Mason Pline from that? But that was funny. That was funny. I think collectively, right, when you look at the defense, for some reason, and I know it's not the starting defense. I understand that. We understand that. But you would think that they got a little bit better against the one thing that they struggled against.
Yes, always.
Last year. Well, two things they struggled against last year. And so defensively, I just didn't see them being able to defend the run well. They gave up. I'm not going to tell you how many yards they gave up on the ground, but they gave up 138 yards. I just said I wasn't going to tell you. They gave up 138 yards. Yeah, 138 yards on the ground. That's a lot. That's a lot for this run defense. And granted, it didn't matter if, and I know our starting defense didn't play. I get
Yeah.
that. But they were getting gashed. They were
Yeah.
getting gashed, mainly up the middle, a lot of gash runs. And I think that was by design for Tennessee. But
Yeah.
I'm starting to think a little bit differently about this 49ers defense because, hear me out. And if y'all in the chat, let me know if you agree or disagree. It's all good. But if you watch this game, the Niners defense played a lot of soft zone coverage, right? They were playing off these players and giving them the underneath routes all game long, which means when a team comes up there on first down and you back up and you're giving them 7 yards on first down from a catch, from a dump or a little pass, they're going to run the ball and they're going to gas you for the run. And so it's like the Niners got to figure out how to switch that up. I get that the defense was going to be base and vanilla. I understand all that. But I saw this last year. They
Right.
were gashing us up last year with these
Exactly.
underneath throws.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to you, I was like, yo, Pete, why we can't do underneath? Why we don't got no check down? Every year. Where's our check downs?
Right.
Every year. It's because of the type of defense we play. So I'm wondering if Nick Sorensen is going to see that on the film. Like,
I hope
yo,
so.
we got to change this up, guys.
Yes,
We're
we gotta
playing
do
too
something.
soft. And that's I'm not trying to give Ambry Thomas any excuses. As bad as he was out there, the rest of the secondary was just as bad.
Yes. That's what
Like-
I'm saying. Like, it wasn't just him that was out there.
He looked the worst, but they were just as bad because they were giving up these completions
Yep.
underneath. So I'm curious to start to think maybe it's just the style of defense that the 49ers want them to play. I don't like it. I just feel like it's giving up too many yards.
Yeah.
Too many yards. They gave up 198 yards on the ground too, by the way. 198 in the air. 198 in the air, 168, I said 28 in the ground, 38 on the ground. So they pretty much gashed us up.
It really looked reminiscent of how that Lions game started in the NFC
See?
Championship game.
I'm telling you, it looked worse. Not PG. All last
Yeah.
season, I'm telling you, all last season, the Niners would play off, and for me, I ain't defending nobody, but Ambry Thomas is the worst zone defense defender in the NFL. Worst. So why is he playing 5 yards off already? He's gonna give up the pass. But if you let him play man on one side and you put your other strong zone defenders wherever, you could play man zone. Let him play up closer, initiate that contact. Like I said, it was just Ambry had a rough game from that kickoff or whatever that was, return to the freaking hold on the defense when D. Winters stopped Will Levis from scoring with the big hit, and then they get a first down, and then he takes it in the next. Like everything just went downhill. I know I'm staying stuck on him, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that defense to me is the word. It's not. You know what? I don't know, Bo, if it's a form of prevent, but it's not. It's more like we're just not getting beat deep. They're not playing that far off. They're not playing all their guys back in like
Right.
cover 4 and they're playing back and nah, they just play soft, real soft zone. I hate it. I need them to get more physical. If they're gonna be more, what's the word that Nick Sorensen uses all the time? Violent. Like how you gonna be violent
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you've given them the catch?
Right. Yeah, I didn't see anything that looked like anything violent that was going on out there tonight.
And Bo, you're right. But when I think of prevent defense, you know what I mean? It never works for the Niners. And it usually be on them third downs. They play so you're telling me the Niners play prevent on first, second, third, fourth. It's like I said, it's not where they got like quarters coverage and 4 guys
Right.
playing off, and then your corners out there, and then your safety, and you got your extra. It's conceptually wrong.
Right.
It don't work. I don't know what it is. It's not going to work. I'm tired of seeing check downs
Yeah.
get converted to first downs on us. I understand we play with speed, and I understand that, But man, play tighter coverage.
Yeah,
Just
they
play a little
were.
bit tighter coverage. It's just way too soft. You can play prevent, but play closer. You don't got to be soft.
Yeah,
Play up.
They were lighting us up.
Fucking Will Levis. Fucking
Taking
Mason
advantage of all
Rudolph.
that. Yeah,
was,
right.
Was
Rudolph, too.
complete. Mason Rudolph is a deep pass thrower. This dude chucking us,
Right.
carving us up underneath like he Aaron Rodgers. I'll be getting frustrated. Listen, Peachy, I know it's a I know it's a preseason game, but I be getting mad at stuff like that because stop it. And the Niners couldn't stop them, and but the Niners didn't give up a lot of points. So that's where you credit the defense.
Yeah.
That red zone defense, the
Yes.
Niners red zone goal line defense, whatever you want to call goal line, maybe a little. That red zone defense is tough.
Like that.
Bernardo Green gonna be a problem.
Yes.
That red zone defense is tough, and they got some young guys in there. And we're saying all this without watching, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Leonard Floyd,
Which we will see next week.
right. But my point, my thing is, what am I? I'm hopeful because these guys had moments where they flashed and looked really well. Khalil Davis with the sack. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, right up the middle. He had a tackle for a loss. Like, Khalil Davis looked like he ready to eat somebody lunch, food, money, whatever. Like, I like that.
See,
I like that.
He has the bad word in his thing that he said. And see, I think that he had a lot to do with that, too. I think that he's got his hands more in this defense. Brandon Staley.
No, you can't blame this shit on Brandon Staley. This is his first fucking game. We did this last year. That's my point. Where was Brandon Staley last year?
I don't know.
He wasn't here. We did this my issue is we play soft, and I'm trying to figure out when it started. I'm trying to figure out when all the soft zone stuff became a part of the Niners defense. Because we remember when D'Amico was here, PG, and it'd be like 3rd and 57,450, and we give up 57,451 yards for a first down on 3rd down.
Papa J. He said that it's Steve Wilkes defense still.
It can't be, Papa. Come on, Papa. It can't be. It can't be, bro. Like, it's something about the. I need them. I don't know. I think the young guy. I think with the regular guys in there, they might fly around and be able to cover the ground in space. That's the whole point. But these guys in here, it looked like Steve Wilkes' defense. Soft. I'm with you, Jack. I wasn't expecting the blitzes. I'm
telling you, I was crazy.
Well, I wasn't expecting us to blitz. And I wasn't expecting them to blitz. But every team trying to come out and punch us in the mouth. In a preseason game, they are trying to let everybody know. And all right, like PG said at the beginning of the show, for them to even start their starters in their first preseason game, let us know that they were going to be on some different ish.
Yes.
What was the team? I remember last year we played a team in the preseason and they blitzed us on like every down, and I was just like, dang.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. Do they get tired? like what is going on? But I will say this. Brock Purdy was the best quarterback against the blitz last year.
Yep.
And I expect him to be even better this year.
Yes.
So I'll leave it at that. So blitz away.
Yeah.
Let's talk about special teams, PG, before we jump up out of here, yo.
You have to.
Listen.
Oh my God.
PG, you started. I just want to sit back and laugh because special teams is ass. Asinine, trash, doo-doo, with new rules. I feel like the new rules were made for the 49ers, and we still can't capitalize off that shit. We got all the tough stuff players.
It was crazy. The special teams was so bad. Lord have mercy. I really thought twice that they were gonna run back for a touchdown. Like I really, really thought.
On the kickoff and the punt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really thought that was about
If
to do that.
Peachy,
Like, oh
if
my
that
God.
rookie would have spun one more time, yo, he was playing Madden. He was playing Madden. I'm a little upset I can't get my sound effects to work. Like I'm having a brain fart or something. So I'm gonna figure that out. I'm having a brain fart. Let me figure that out.
Yes, don't bother me. Special teams is special.
That's not that. That's what it is. But you know what? It starts with the coach. It starts with Schneider.
Oh,
I never liked him. Never liked him. Why did we fire the black dude? I can't remember his name. Hightower, right? Richard Hightower. Why did we fire him? I know his special teams was bad. Oh, I know why we fired him. Remember he got caught on them fakes like twice in the same season, and they weren't ready. That's why. I remember now. I remember now. All right, so special teams coverage on special teams is just gonna be bad.
It was ass.
It'll get better though. It'll get better, but the question is, how much better will it get with these new
Right.
rules? And that's gonna be what's tough, especially when you got guys that were like the kid returning the ball on the Tennessee Titans. Like he found a crease, he hit it, and he hit the spin button 3 times. One more spin, it was a touchdown.
It would have been gone.
Who saved that touchdown?
It would have been gone.
Was it Samuel Womack that saved the touchdown? I can't remember who saved the touchdown, but they saved it. Like
I think it was Womack.
I think it was Womack.
I think it was Womack.
I was just like, dang, one more spin, it's a wrap.
That was, man.
I see some questions out there, so we'll get to some of the questions while we continue to talk about special teams. Don't bother me, says Wayne. How do you feel about Green at nickel? I love it. And I know he. It's funny. Don't bother me. I don't think he loves it. We need to get him to love it, so he can believe in it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But I think that's where he belongs now. And if he can master the nickel, he's going to be perfectly fine outside.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be perfectly, because he's an outside guy. He's going to be perfectly fine outside. To see him get that fumble, though, that was like that fumble recovery. That was like just to be there. That's pretty spot on. It was a bad exchange, quarterback to the running back. And the ball was on the ground. It was there for about 55 seconds, but Renardo Green.
It took about 12 people for one of them to put it in their hand.
They couldn't find the ball.
Dang.
He did though. Green had the nose for the ball. So I actually like him at nickel. Don't bother me. I think he can thrive there. And remember, imagine him at nickel with Lenore and Ward locking it up outside. You know what I'm saying? He was playing with, not even Yadam out there, right? Like, so he was playing with Rock Ucine and those guys out there, right? So just imagine how well he's going to be, or how much better he's going to be when he got the top dogs out there. Yeah. I think that elevates his level of play, because I think he feels like he's a top dog, even though he knows he's not. He knows he's a rookie, but I think he feels like he can hang with the big dogs, and that's dope when you feel that way, because that's how he's coming out there with all the confidence in the world. So that's what we kind of want to see.
So let me ask you this. Schneider came from Green Bay, did he not?
I thought Schneider came from freaking Seattle. I feel like that's where he came from.
Maybe I have the wrong.
Him and Nick Sorensen's ass came from Seattle. But I could be wrong. He might have came from Green Bay. Somebody will let us know.
I remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, just asked. They were asked. But I do have a question, like we were talking about. Just didn't try to kick any field goals. Do you think maybe they're just doing that because he'll be out there next week with all the starters and stuff, and that's why there was no field goals kicked? Because that was interesting.
We didn't get into position to kick a field goal. Like, whenever we thought we were going to be in position to kick the field goal, it was a penalty or a sack or something, and it took us out of position. And then that last drive, Kyle's going for the win. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately,
I got you.
If Josh Dobbs didn't get sacked,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then maybe. But I think Kyle's going for the win. And so that was my favorite part of the game. That was the best part. Kyle going for the win. That was the best part.
Yep.
That was the best part of the game. I'm like, oh, this the Kyle I need in my life.
Right.
Yeah, that's the Kyle, right? That was dope. He trusted.
Yep.
He gave his quarterback an opportunity to win the game. And if Josh Dobbs could have put a little bit more air on that ball, it's a possibility that his guy would have came down with it, opposed to being an interception. So Josh Dobbs' last 2 possessions was a sack for like negative 57,000 yards, and then the interception, unfortunately. But he was trying to win the game, and so I wasn't even mad at that point. It's just more like, I think, like leading up to that. Jake Moody kicked his extra points. You know what I didn't watch, Peachy?
That missed extra point?
Jake Moody didn't miss an extra point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They went
That's
for
right.
a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
that's
he
right.
made
They went for 2.
1 extra point in this game because we had 13. Yeah. My point is, I didn't watch it, and I meant to watch it because I wanted to see, was it straight down the middle, and I can't remember. Was Jake Moody's extra point straight down the middle? Somebody tell me, because I can't remember. I need to know if his ball was skewed to the right or skewed to the left or down the middle. That's important. It's really important.
Yeah.
It's really important because he yes, it was down the middle or it was skewed. Shoot, I asked too many questions
Big
at
Daddy
the same
said
time.
yes.
Okay, I hope that was for it being down the middle.
Down the middle?
Yeah, because that's important, because he missed an extra point in Big's game that mattered. But it's okay. I think Jake Moody's confidence is different this year. He's not battling for a spot.
Yes.
He knows it's his job, and he just has to go out there and kick it. I don't know if we like it'd be really strenuous on the rookies. They living out of hotels, all that type of stuff. So like, we don't factor in any of that. We just think they're professionals and they got to go out there and do their job, which they do. But maybe this year is a little bit different for him, as far as his mentality.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what it is. Thank you. It was down the middle. Okay, so that's good. That's good. I'm trying to tell you that's good. That's good. So look,
That's really good.
in this loss, Peachy, we talked about the good with the defense and the offense and the special teams. We talked about the bad with the offense and the special teams. You know, what do we got to do, you know, just to be better? Like, and I don't mean it from, we haven't seen our starters play.
Right.
But from our depth playing, they had opportunities to win this game, and they failed on those opportunities.
Yeah.
So what does the depth have to do better their next go round?
I feel like that the depth is definitely got to work on that run defense. They definitely have got to work on that, because between what all of the Titans running backs, like every single one of the Titans running backs, like, lit our defense up. Like, they literally just ran through them like bowling balls, especially big dude, the big monster that they have on there. Where people were saying that the Titans were gonna definitely miss Derrick Henry and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, you got this big freaking monster that you have on here. I think you guys are gonna be okay.
I will say, by committee, they ran on us.
Yes,
So
that's true.
which, I mean, all right. So let me get you the yards. So Tony Pollard looked good.
You did.
But if I take away Malik Willis's 42 yards,
Yeah.
the Niners did well against their running backs. Hassan Haskins, is that the big dude you're talking about? Because he had 27 yards on from their team. So, like, they did find ways to run the ball. But Malik, that big run, right? That, you know, I don't think the Niners, you know, they're not going to have to face him. So I don't think they were prepared for Malik. But it would have that's good
makes
practice,
sense.
because they're going to see Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
So that was good practice, but Malik was the one that kind of started to open up the run game. I thought Tony Pollard, he averaged 8.8 yards per carry. I thought Tony Pollard looked really good, but you know, he was trying to go off on the Niners because he's still mad at
Of
the
course.
Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's still salty.
Tajay Spears is the running back that had the touchdown. But like I said, other than and Will Levis scored it. So the Niners, even though they gave up 138 yards on the ground, there's context behind that. Now, I'm more concerned about the power runs up the middle. I'm not. I understand they're gonna get outran by Malik Willis. Like everybody is. That kid is fast.
Yes.
So I get that, but you got to stop these guys coming up the middle as far as the other running backs. And I just think at one time, I think we were watching and we said, "Yo, they gassed. They are gassed." Right? Yep. And so once the starters are there, they become the depth, so they'll be fresh.
Right.
And they'll be able to rotate in. So the run defense should pick up. I mean, that's why you got Malik Collins, you got Jordan Elliott, you got some big guys up the middle, and then you got your other guys there like your Javon Hargraves, your Kevin Givens is his to rush the passer, right? Like you got those guys. You know who looked really bad to me? I don't think T.Y. McGill doesn't look good. Like for some reason, he's struggling on this 49ers defensive line. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just, I'm not sure if he'll get a spot, but we'll know after the next game. 49ers throwback says, Wayne, we need Spencer Burford back. Dominic Pooney was the big pun.
I thought he was awesome.
I don't know.
Job out there.
Listen, y'all know I love Spencer. That's my dude. Heal up, but Pooney is out there saying, "Listen,
Pooney is the real deal for real."
He's saying, "Yo, for 3 rounds, all these teams passed up on me." That's what I'm getting from Dominic Pooney right now. That's the energy I'm getting from Pooney right now. So I like what I saw from Pooney, and again, I thought the offensive line wasn't bad at all. They gave up a couple of sacks, had a couple of penalties, but overall. They look pretty decent. I just wish they could have gotten to more of a rhythm to run the ball more to the outside. I would like to see some outside zone. Fish and chips. How do you think Moody did? He was 1 for 1 from the extra points. Other than that, I mean, he didn't do it. He didn't get an opportunity to do anything else. You know, he just didn't. Bo says too many missed tackles from Kalia Davis and D. Winters was monster against the run. Yeah, I felt like D. Winters maybe had 1.5 missed tackles, 1 for sure, but he was just all over the field. Kalia Davis had the big sack. Pause. And I gotta check his missed tackles. I can't wait to watch the all 22 because I was all over the screen looking at this game, getting mad. All that type of stuff. So, I don't analyze the game when I'm watching it. I watch the game like I'm a fan, and then I go back and I analyze the game. That's why these overreaction shows are really good because we just coming at it from our fans' perspective. Like we're not breaking anything down. Colton McKivitz definitely looked better, and I can't wait to. So I thought we would get Jalen Moore out there now.
Yeah.
Jalen Moore is not injured. Is Jalen Moore the starting left tackle of the San Francisco 49ers?
Oh, Lord.
I was listening to interviews. Kyle Shanahan likes him. Said he's gotten better. But Nick Bosa said it's unfortunate that he doesn't get the opportunities out there like he should. He said Trent Williams not being here is the best thing for him because now he's going to be able to show, what he can do. This was on Sirius XM NFL radio, right? So I'm like, wow. So Trent is even though Trent beats him every practice, Trent is co-signing Jalen Moore. So I'm on the verge of being a little bit nervous about Trent Williams contemplating retirement. I really am. I hate to put that out there, but I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I want to be wrong. I've never wanted to be wrong more than anything right now.
It is a weird situation right now that's going on with Trent. That's going into preseason and everything, and he's not here, and we're playing against the Saints next week. Of course, doing joint practice with them through the week. I thought that Trent would be back in time for the joint practices, but apparently he's not. And I know everybody's like, oh, you know, well, it doesn't matter because, you know, he can just start week 1 and it, you know, and all that stuff. But I don't know. It just feels weird to me now. It feels a little bit weird.
Well, the good news is they're co-signing Jalen Moore. He's being endorsed by his team. He didn't start in this preseason game.
Yep.
I bet you $100 he's going to start against the Saints because he's going to practice against the Saints unless Trent makes the miraculous comeback. And even if he does come back, I don't expect Trent to play against the Saints or practice against the Saints with his first week being back. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. I think that's the new radar we're going to start watching, even though we still know Brandon Ayuk isn't here. Plus, we're going to get some guys back like Ricky Pearso. What is he going to do in his first preseason game if he plays? Jacob Cowing, some of these other young receivers, these rookies. The next game is going to be phenomenal because they're going to practice that whole week against this particular team. How many fights do you think we get in camp? I'm just over or under 5. Because I feel like T.Y. McGill's going to throw a couple of joints. Over or under 5. I mean, we fighting ourselves. So there's got to be a fight against the Saints. Maybe 5 is too big of a number. Over or under 2?
I think it's over.
Damn. I'm hoping not.
It's over.
There's gonna be some stuff going down at this training camp. Now the 49ers will be in, I believe they're both gonna be in Los Angeles practicing against one another. And then the game is in Santa Clara, I believe.
Yes, the game is in Santa Clara.
All right.
It absolutely is.
Any final thoughts, Peachy, about this game? I mean, the next game will have better reactions because we're going to see our starters. This is the game where we were just like, okay, the depth looked good. Okay, the depth still needs to work on this. Any final thoughts before we jump up out of here?
Just want to thank everyone for tuning in to us. I know there's everybody in their mama's life, and we appreciate you guys taking time to come and hang with us for just a moment so we can go over things. And thank you for the wonderful interaction, of course. It's preseason, but this is an overreaction show, and that's what we do. So that's what we're going to do after every game. It is make a difference. It's going to happen. So looking forward to the joint practices with the Saints. I do feel like that the 49ers are still going to be dominant as ever. I'm looking forward to this next preseason game, getting to see all our starters out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just expect it to be dominant because that's what the 49ers have been for quite some time now. So I expect them to do the same thing against the Saints at home.
Very well said. And I expect the Niners to go out there and get a victory. You know, I do. I think it'll be a better game.
Yes.
But more importantly, I want the Niners to come out injury-free. Guys, make sure you send your prayers up to Ambry Thomas, who did suffer this game and left with a broken forearm. So make sure you keep him in your prayers to a speedy recovery. We don't have the logistics behind how long he's going to be out or anything like that. But other than that, man, I think Nothing But Niners is still on. So go ahead and check out my man Mike. He's over there doing it. I'm going to go over there and hop on with him for a few minutes, and I'm going to bed. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Nitty Gritty Niners Talk, the reaction show. We appreciate you guys, and thanks for watching.
Hey.
Breezy,
Gritty, this that Niners
Mo's
talk.
nose. PG,
This that Niners
it's
talk.
about that time. Everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and Fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you Niner talk. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and Fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Linus Talk. Nitty gritty, this the Linus Talk.